Awesome. Those guys. Those guys. No, they're awesome. That's a lot of fun. Hey, I'm here with the next player, Xefania, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Welcome. We also have Haravant. Can we see if we can get the Skype working? You there, Haravant?
Yes. Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. Hello. Hello. Welcome and good morning, I guess.
Thank you.
You overslept a little.
Yeah.
So you're playing
Sorry
from home.
for that.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's why we have this Skype Skype thing. The only I'm going to tell you the only big downside with this is that at the player overlay they're going to use in the break to talk about you, we couldn't take a picture, so you're going to get a kitten.
Yeah, I heard that.
You heard that?
It's totally fine.
Okay, it's totally fine. Okay, perfect. I just want to make that sure, you know, just for a second. All right, so guys, Xefania versus Haravant. Xefania, you're studying medicine?
Yeah, that's right.
Do you have any special, just medicine in general, or any?
Yeah,
just
in general.
Oh, okay, just medicine. So what are you going to be, doctor?
Yeah.
Where are you studying?
In Lund.
In Lund.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so you came a long way.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. That's cool. Are you feeling hyped up for the game?
Very.
You looked very looked very happy, you know, setting up your gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Haravant, you're studying store management.
Yes, that's correct.
What are you studying?
It's a distant course, so
Okay.
I'm studying from home.
So studying from home. Yeah, you're playing
the
from
school
home and
is
you're studying
in,
from home.
But the school is in Leksand.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Cool. It's so much fun to have all these kinds of different schools. We had someone from the Red Cross here just last game, winter and so forth. So it's a lot of fun to have people from all around Sweden meeting. It's going to be nice to see which school is going to win. If Madeleine is going to take it home for Stockholm University again, or if you can challenge her, guys. Yeah. Just taking a look at your answers here on all my strange questions I sent you. I couldn't help but noticing that you're playing Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so you're doing the day 9 combo.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So how long have you been playing Magic? Did you play a lot?
Not a lot now,
Oh,
but
right.
I used to play much more.
All right, yeah.
And I think I started playing like 6 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I started playing like 6 years ago as well.
Yeah.
I've thrown all too much money into online drafting. It's so bad. It's so much fun.
Very addictive.
Yeah, very addictive. Have you been playing Hearthstone any?
No.
You haven't. Are you gonna do it when it's released?
I'll try it, I think.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good as well. It's not Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
But it's good. And Haravant, you said the Neverhood. Which game is that?
It's made from, I don't know the English word, lera.
Lera, clay.
Clay, thank you.
Yeah.
The whole game is made in clay.
Really?
And it's, you have to Google it to see how it looks.
I
It's
will definitely Google it after that.
fantastic.
It's a game made out of clay. All right, that's awesome. I was like, because you wrote Neverhood, look at it. And I was like, oh, yeah, I got to
Yeah,
definitely
you have to
look that
see
up.
it to know
Yeah,
what
to
I'm
understand
talking
what
about.
it is. All right, guys, we'll talk more after the game if you want to hang around as well. And I'm not going to take too much of your time. So step into the booth and Haravant, whatever you got to do, you know, step up to the lean back and play, I guess. I'm going to wish you guys good luck, and I'm going to leave this to the casters.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You know, we heard from the players. They actually sound pretty excited about this, man. I think we got a good match on our hands here in the second quarterfinal of the day.
Yeah, we have Haravant and Xefania, and both of them are studying, of course, University Star League, and
go hand in hand, you know.
Yeah, and Xefania is doing some hardcore studying. He's going into medicine.
Yeah,
man, that's some true skill. And I believe Haravant is doing store management.
Store management.
Yeah, I believe that's said on this
something of use.
Completely invisible piece of paper.
Yeah, you have everything there.
Store management.
Medicine is just like medicine. We just know right off the bat, okay, he's medicine.
Yeah.
He's a hard worker.
Yeah, of course.
And that's all he does, is work.
So perhaps these two can...
You'll probably know him better by looking at, you know, his back. Like, you see him from the front, you're like, who are you again? And then he's going to turn around and you'll be like, oh, yeah, okay, you're the guy who's always in the library. See, that's a medicine student.
Yeah, but perhaps Haravant and Xefania can work something out after this broadcast. Because if you have a store management guy and a medicine guy, perhaps they can work out some demand and supply issues.
Totally, dude. They could take it to the apothec and just, like, be, you know, you guys clearly mismanaging everything around here.
Yeah, here we have two engineers working out all the global economy issues. We do have some player info.
Oh, wait, you can see my papers. But maybe I should put those on the side.
Perhaps.
Hey, everybody.
Here we have Haravant, Vante Rönnlund. We have a lot of facial hair on that dude. Very pretty, though.
This guy, man, he puts the beard to shame.
Yeah, big blue eyes. He is Protoss. And just as Scylla, his favorite unit is the Dark Templar. And the least favorite unit in StarCraft 2 is the Broodlord. Can we really trust him? Is this old info?
I like this, yeah. This is a throwback, man. It's like yesterday we saw like the composition of Wall, where it was like Infestor, Roach, Broodlord, and you're just like, this is cool, man. You're just missing the queens for the transfuses, and I'm gonna have a little tear in my corner of my eye, and Protosses are gonna have a whole lot of tears in their eyes. But I mean,
instead of a single tear of reminiscence.
Of joy, yeah. Protosses are like, no, please stop the pain.
Yeah, is this really Whirlwind or is it Tal'Darim? We don't know.
Well, this guy, man, he knows. He has been scarred for life, clearly. Still says the Broodlord is his least favorite unit, despite the fact that, you have other things like
Swarm hosts, Ultras, Infestors, a lot of different options. We do have his opponent. Yeah, Infestors are still good. And they have extra range now in comparison to Wings of Liberty.
Infestors?
Yeah, on Fungal.
Really?
Yeah, they buffed it since it became a projectile.
So you can throw it farther now that it is a projectile and harder to miss.
Yeah.
So if you want to take the risk, you can chuck that little ball of goo a little bit farther, but then the guy has to go like, whoop, and you miss it.
Yeah. I can translate this for you in CSGO.
You can tell I'm not bitter. I'm not a bitter Zerg player or anything.
Not at all. It's a skill shot to get some fungals. You can still play Wings of Liberty. You and the two other guys will have a bunch of fun.
Oh, dude.
I don't know if there's still activity on that game, though.
Still just play Wings. I think there is, dude, because we played our placement the other day, and I hadn't touched that account since Wings. And we actually played the placement and was in Wings. And there was like, by the way, you guys might want to upgrade to Hearthstone. Or not Hearthstone, Heart of the Swarm. Everything is like HOTS now for Blizzard, too.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Heroes of the Storm. I'm just like, no. The first time I saw that, I was like, are they trolling us? Is this like April Fool's come late?
I saw the hashtag on Twitter when they announced the new game, and they just put in the hashtag. And I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, this game is already out. And then I clicked like the compressed link, and Heroes of the Storm. Man.
Sometimes Blizzard, you really wonder. You're like, There's this suit behind a desk. He hears the name. He's like, "This is brilliant.
Yeah,
do it."
I mean,
and then they're like, "Well, we've got like 3 other games that sound like it too." But who cares about making things easy to understand? We got our player here in front of us,
Victor Xefania,
the medicine student. He is a hard worker. We'll see if it actually plays up in his games. One thing that you were saying is that his favorite unit is the siege tank.
Yeah.
And so you said, okay, we can talk about this a little bit.
Yeah.
But what's there to talk about with siege tanks? They just blow stuff up.
The big thing with siege tank currently is that since Heart of the Swarm, they have gotten siege mode, and you don't need to research it. And now with the latest patch, they attack faster.
That's true. They do attack faster.
Yeah, it's a new revitalized siege tank. So we are going probably to try to see some mech in this series. I do hope so. And I've seen a lot of Terran players going for mech while streaming versus Protoss. And it really didn't occur at all for a couple of months. Now it's starting to pop up. Like, we've seen Straylock.
Choice?
You mean alternatives?
You don't have to go bio every game?
I don't have to go only Marine Marauder? What?
Whoa, dude. My mind, like... that's getting out of hand. That's like too many choices. I think I might lose myself in the game. I'll be like, I don't know what to do anymore, guys. I can make tanks, and I could make Hellions. Hellbats? Oh, can I make Hellbats? Whoa. That might be a big deal.
When we were at King of the Dome, we did have Show right there, and he actually had a name for the army that he always created against Protoss. It's Marauders, Marines, Medivacs, Vikings, and Ghosts, of course. Kompisarmén, the friend army.
The friend army.
He has played this game long enough and created the same units long enough to name the army. And now we have an alternative. It's going to be interesting. And we are waiting for the players to get ready. And we are going to get into game number 1 as soon as possible. We do have the maps, though. The first map is Aquilon. What do you think about this for Terran versus Protoss?
I think it's good.
You think it's good?
I think it's very good.
Very good.
I think we're going to see a lot of headshots, probably some smokes going down as well, you know. A lot of opportunity to cut up the map.
Whoa. Wrong game.
Right. StarCraft. For StarCraft, it could be pretty solid. But I think, guys, we're going to be kicking things off. The countdown has begun. We're going to be loading into the first map of this best-of-5 series, the second quarterfinals of the day. It's a TVP. And both of these guys are raring to go, despite the fact that one of them overslept. That's just how excited he was. He couldn't sleep last night.
Yeah.
He slept through his alarm this morning. He didn't make it here, but now he's playing the game. And it is going to be on Alcalon Wastes. A map that is, has been around for a while now.
Yeah,
you could say that we've seen this in a few series. And in TVP, no idea what to expect on this map.
Well,
at all. At all.
If we take into account that we do have the 4 bases in the corners, we might see some macro play. It's easy to go up into that game on this map. But we'll see
drops.
We might see drops. Hopefully, if we don't see mech. But
hopefully. But hey, we could still see Hellbat drops or Hellion drops or even like SCV drops.
Hell,
Thor drop,
dude,
Where's the Thor drop at? Like, that's what I want to see. I want to see like proxy Thor drops again.
You got to call Sean for
We should have seen that yesterday.
That's true.
That's what I was hoping for.
But in this game number 1, in this best of 5, spawning in the bottom right corner, our red Terran player. Give it up for Xefania.
And spawning in the top left corner of the map, Aquilon Wastes. It is the Protoss hope in this matchup, Haravant, who is currently playing from his comfy home. So some people may say that he's an onliner. Something to keep in mind. The thing is, he didn't come to LAN. So is he hacking? Do we have any way of knowing?
We don't know.
That's the thing. He's playing at home on his own gear, on his own setup, his PC. He's got the advantage right now.
Yeah,
just because of that.
And, do you think he's stream cheating?
Could be ghosting, man.
We saw some moves that was quite interesting.
We have no idea because he is home right now. Yeah. I mean, granted,
we can't
it's cool that he's going to play in the tournament, but one of them's on LAN right here, and we can see.
Should we give the other player a head start with like a 1-0 lead or something?
You should get like an extra harvester or something. Be like, well.
Like no. I got the idea. I got the idea.
Oh, yeah?
A mule that doesn't die.
That's just broken, man. You just want to watch the world burn.
Do you remember when mules got extra minerals from gold patches?
I do remember those days with tears
broken.
And very sad memories.
Like Shattered Temple and Lost Temple.
Yeah.
And Terran just took the 3rd base after the gold and just bombed it with mules. Man, if you were a Terran player, that was beautiful.
Mules make so much sense.
And if you are a Terran player that did that, I don't like you.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, that's
Terran race. You need SUVs. They need to spend time building the building, so you need something to make up for that. Okay, then you got to go mules. That's good.
Yeah.
Now let's get into the game, ladies and gentlemen. We already have the first structure going down here for Haravant. He's going for that gateway. And as far as things are concerned, it looks like we're in for another pause. Sorry, Xefania says. Sorry, but then again, we can give him some leeway. He is here on the LAN. So maybe he had to get the settings settled. Maybe he couldn't quite get everything done before he got into the match. We don't want him to be spoiled, or we don't want to spoil this series.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, Haravant might actually just be trolling, sitting at home, peeling his banana, just chilling, having some breakfast.
Yeah, look at this guy. He's like, more time to eat breakfast. He's so happy he's at home right now. He's just like, yep, okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to make another bowl of cereal.
He has this giant couch that he's just sitting in. Like, have you seen Kriparian? He's leaning back in his chair, just chilling, looking at his screen.
Well, it's like, Crip, it's interesting when he plays Hearthstone, but when he plays like Path of Exile, you're just like, how does he not shoot himself?
He's been playing Diablo 3 now.
Yeah, he's been playing Diablo 3 too. The Diablo 3 expansion just came out, right?
Yeah, the Reaper of Souls. Isn't that the beta, though? Or is it out?
I don't know if it's out or what. But I mean, then again, it's Diablo 3. Like, they killed the game. They destroyed it. Blizzard.
Well, the auction house is gone, though.
Eviscerated their own, godlike game. Pardon me?
they removed the real money and
they
the normal.
revitalized everything. That's right.
Yeah.
They have made changes, so they're attempting to make a comeback into this. But guys, it looks like we're back into our match now.
Yeah,
nice
another
countdown
Blizzard
there,
game.
Panzer. But we do have the barracks, and it is under construction for Xefania.
And if we look into the productions tab, we do have a refinery underway for Xefania.
So that Reaper opening, yo.
Yeah, that Reaper opening. It's quite strong, actually. It gives a lot of scouting information, as well as the opportunity to put on some pressure and taking out some workers. It's actually quite difficult as a Protoss player to deal with this Reaper if you don't get an early Stalker. So perhaps he is going to move in and see the refinery. There we go. And by these standards, he should know that there is a Reaper on the way. But little does he know, there's a Marine being produced.
Mm-hmm. No, there's a Marine being produced. That is interesting. So
Yeah.
what's he getting this gas for?
I don't know. Are we going... There's only 2 SVs on the gas, so is it just a delayed Reaper?
There we go. No, it's actually going to be the
Reactor?
reactor, yeah. So... And does he manage to see this? Does he manage to deny this information from Haravant? I'm not sure if Haravant was able to pick up on that.
He did deny the information.
He denied it. So nicely done there. The Marine is actually going to go ahead and chase that probe out of the base, and that's a little step there for Xefania, managing to get just a little bit ahead of his opponent, keep something hidden, and that is so hard to do when the Gatherer is in your base.
Yeah.
So,
And Haravant is actually just going home right now. He's starting his Nexus around the same time that the command center is being started. And we do have a mothership core being produced as soon as possible. So currently, if I were Haravant, I would expect a Reaper sometime soon. But there isn't coming one. And we have a Stalker in the production to preemptively deal with the Reaper that's not coming. But we only have Marines currently in the production.
he's cranking them out too, man. He has got that reactor. It is cranking Marines out 2 at a time, and he should have a pretty healthy army in just a moment's time here, Xefania. He could actually, get, 10 Marines and just walk across the map and be like, what's up, bro?
It's actually really, really difficult. If you don't stay upon your tippy toes, you might actually lose some big things.
Yeah.
Like, if you lose your mothership core, essentially, you lose your natural. If the photon overcharge goes down, all of the Marines are either thwarted or they just die. So it all hangs on if you can control your mothership core in this case. Because we do have a Stalker and another Stalker. They are good at kiting the Marines at this point, but I don't know if 2 of them are going to be enough to take out so many Marines. We still have double Marine production, and with the factory coming into play, we might see some Hellions as well.
Yeah, this is so cool. This is not something we see too often.
Yeah, this is... Oh, and the starport going down directly after.
Dude, this guy, mine drops. That's what's going on.
Ooh.
Look at that. He's already making 2 mines. He's going to get that medevac out. There's a lot of Marines here. Surprise, surprise!
Ooh.
Stalker, run! And he does manage to make it out of there in time, but
yeah,
just barely.
22 HP on that Stalker. We do have a proxy pylon coming up and the mothership in the middle of the map. But he is heading home. He is just going to hide that probe, leave that pylon, and go home and chill for a bit. In the main base, however, we do have double mines being produced. And as soon as the first medevac is out, I think that we are going to pick up... No, he's just going to move across the map right now. Putting on the pressure is Xefania.
I like it.
And at Haravant's Natural, we don't have a lot. In the units tab, we do have 2 Stalkers and 1 Sentry with the mothership core. He does have enough for the photon overcharge, however.
Yeah, and the Nexus Cannon could actually kind of ruin the things here for Xefania. Xefania, he's making his way up there. The thing is, if he can get these mines burrowed, he can start zoning these units out. I mean, there's good force fields going down, instant reactions. Haravant does not miss a beat.
Yeah, and that first Widow mine was just annihilated by all those laser beams. We do have the robotics facility coming down, and Xefania is just camping outside the natural at this point, rallying some Widow mines. Whoa, whoa. There we go. It just stopped. And he's going to burrow that and try to pick off anything that moves out.
But doesn't he know that Widow mines are useless now?
They kind of are and aren't. He doesn't know if there's any detection currently. As long as they are burned and there's no observers, they can still put on some pressure. It gives him map control. And if we take a look at the right side of the main base, we have a full medevac with Marines.
That's the big play.
And
That's the big
we
deal.
are going into Haravant's main base right now, into the mineral line. And the Marines are being dropped.
Yeah, we got a lot of damage already. He's actually going to be able to pick off a few probes here, so not too shabby. Some fine work indeed. He may lose. I mean, he's sticking about. The Stalkers are starting to close the gap, and, well, there we go. Buying the time. This is the diversion. He's drawing the army back into the main base. What's happening? Knock at the natural. He's going to start dropping those mines, and he can actually obliterate everything here.
And at the natural of Xefania, we have some nice hits there. And if we take a look at the natural of Xefania, Xefania, we have a pylon by Haravant right beside the command center.
Main base, there's stuff going down. Natural, it's happening everywhere right now, guys. And actually, fighting Zealots with SCVs, that's going to be a good way to ruin your day. You can already see those SCVs just running away.
18 probes has gone down in this game so far. And Haravant has only managed to kill 3 SCVs. And
he is denying mining on the natural.
Yeah, but the third CC is done. So he can drop mules over there, and with Widow Mines he could actually just kill these 2 Zealots easily, and they are gone. This pylon, however, is still posing a threat for continuous warpins.
Yeah. It is, in fact, posing a threat for continuous warpins.
Yeah, shut up.
Indeed, we could have a problem here on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. This could get pretty dicey.
Ooh, 25 probes has gone down.
Yeah, this is great pressure coming out here from Xefania. It's a fine start to this series, and honestly, things are looking pretty good for him. He's cranking out the Hellbats now as well. He's just going to go for this great mix of units and get up in Haravant's face. Make sure that Haravant doesn't have time to recover, can't get comfortable. He's just looking to get in there.
Hey, we have Hellbats in this game.
Damn straight, bro. Damn
and a lot
straight.
of Widow Mines, man. And 2 factories being produced. Additional 2 ones coming down. This is Mech versus Protoss.
The one thing I'm curious about is, did he lose both of those medevacs with those drops? And it seems like he did. He doesn't have a whole lot back home apart from these Hellbats in the mines.
Yeah.
Not a lot of army to deal with this push that's going to be coming to his front door. He's going to have to sack everything. He's going to have to throw those SCVs in there. Although some good Widow Mine hits do start things off. Losing a couple sentries and losing a Stalker. Things are still looking pretty dicey here for Xefania.
Yeah, and both Widow Mines are actually going to do nothing versus these units from Haravant with that observer, and we have a force field on the ramp. All of these SCVs are going to go down. We have one no, we don't have one Marine.
There's nothing left. There is nothing left. There's no army left here for Xefania. He's only got the SCVs, but now Haravant is in full control of the natural expansion. He continues to just force field off the ramp, keeping Xefania locked into his base. There's a medevac that just spawned, and he needs to get some units in there, but it looks like he's going to lose this natural expand. The one thing that he has to rely on, however, is that third base that you mentioned earlier has gone up. So it's not the end of the world. He's still on a 2-base economy, funnily enough.
Yeah, we have a siege tank currently and a couple of Hellbats. Those Hellbats are being healed by that one medevac.
Wait, he is going back. Dude, this guy is such a baller. Look at this.
Yeah, I know. It's so cool. And another siege tank versus sentries and stalkers. I believe that he will successfully negate all continuous aggression. But retaking his natural with this third CC coming into play in the main base is going to be difficult. And Haravant sees it all with this observer.
Yeah, he's already up there. And now, well, Haravant, the thing is, he's like, okay, perhaps you are going mech. I'm just going to make Immortals. And Immortals, I hear they're pretty good versus siege tanks.
Yeah,
and,
they absorb a lot of damage.
And they absorb quite a bit of damage, you're right. So this could get a little tricky here. As Haravant, I'm wondering, he has not scouted that third base location, or he'd be moving over there right now. That's the problem.
We have double manvacs boosting it out. Are they going to see the Protoss army? No, they
But they are going to fly over that pylon?
No, I believe they're going to
evade it too. Yeah, this is tricky here.
Yeah, and meanwhile, we do have Haravant moving home. We have Infernal Pre-Igniter, otherwise known as Blue Flame, being researched, and we have Colossus range being produced, researched, and double Robo with double Immortals. Semmler, how good is Colossus range for Immortals?
It's like the dopest, isn't it? I mean, you just wreck house, but I think what's really going to help go down is the barbecue at the main base. The double Hellbat drop, they are cleaning things up, and already, I mean, Haravant is reeling. Again, he's being drawn back, and again, those Hellbats are just closing the distance. They're getting more probes.
This might be a University Star League for Swedish students, but we do have a Korean barbecue in the main base of Haravant.
Boost.
A lot of probes has gone down. 37, and the Workers Kill tab is just going to go up from here on out. And man, so much damage. And the third Nexus is almost finished. It's halfway done. And if we take a look at the units tab, 33 workers versus the 54 of Xefania.
Yeah, he's got that natural expansion up and running again, Xefania. So now he's on that that 3-base economy. Now he's just going to continue tearing away. He hasn't stopped CV production either, so he's just going to get that healthy economy, keep cranking out these units. It's going to come down to the engagement.
8 tanks, Semmler. I mean...
What does it mean, Suede?
Immortals are very good at absorbing damage, but 8 siege tanks, are they good enough versus all of these siege tanks with splash damage, with increased fire rate? I don't know, man. This might be dicey for Haravant.
Yeah, it's going to come down to the engagement, isn't it? He's going to need to close the distance. That's the thing. If he catches him unsieged, if he catches him out of position, Xefania's army is just going to be obliterated. So Haravant has to find the proper window to take this engagement. He cannot, well, walk into siege tanks, obviously.
I don't think that Haravant can actually do anything against this. We do have Immortals moving up right now, and the Hellbats are in the front, tanking all the damage, and a massive siege up. And those Immortals absorb a ton of damage, as we can see right here. And one of them just disappeared, and the other 2 remain with little health. And when those 2 disappear, we do have pure Gateway army versus 8 or 10 siege tanks, 12 siege tanks in the units tab for Xefania.
There are too many.
We have 3 siege tanks being produced at a time, and the observers in the main just can't get in. It's missile turrets everywhere, and a 4th command center being produced. And this 3rd base on the left-hand side still being unscouted.
Yeah, now look at this, though. Xefania, he's like, okay, I've had enough of this problem. You know, he's 60 supply ahead. He's just going to go ahead and move out. It's time to roll with these tanks, man. He is going to spot that pylon, the pylon that's been there pretty much since the beginning of the game. And now, well, Xefania making his way across the map, and this is going to be the Doom March. He's going to siege up every which way, and it's just going to be so hard for Haravant to deal with it.
Scanning the natural of Haravant, he sees the army. He is not afraid. We do have some zealots being warped in on the right-hand side to move into the natural. Scanning the natural again, and I believe we do have a massive siege up right here. And in the natural, we do have 3 zealots moving in, but we have a couple of siege tanks and a Hellbat. So they should be able to take care of this harass very easily. In the natural of Haravant, however, we have a couple of Colossi and 5 Immortals versus the massive army of Siege Tank and Hellbats. Man, if I were Haravant, I would be so pressured right now.
Yeah,
and here we go.
You can feel it. You can see the pressure. He is going for the fight right now. He is walking into the siege line, and those Immortals, they're beefy, yes, but they are not invincible. The Colossus drop, and his entire army evaporates before his eyes. Haravant has nothing left to take the fight. There are so many siege tanks still alive, and Xefania is at this point where he could just move through and just clean everything up. There isn't a hope in hell here for Haravant.
We have a red blob just moving across the map, and Xefania can actually just move up his siege tank. The photon overcharge has disappeared, and he can actually just siege the entire natural, and with the natural, those 2 robo facilities are going to just disappear. And here we go, he is moving up. Those 2 Colossi are trying to pick apart this Terran army, and one of them actually just disappears, and the other one just gone as well. And here we go, a giant siege hit right here. And man, if I were Haravant, I would like some blinding clouds, but unfortunately, it's the wrong race.
Yeah, and there you go. GG, well played. Haravant taps out, and that's going to be the first win for Xefania. GG indeed, and look at him smiling. He is pleased with that result. Well done indeed. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, I mean, it just won with mech, as we said. Man, it's got to be fun to play this game when you actually have some options.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy. It's a crazy thought. It's a crazy thought. But, you know, he's showing us that he has mastered the mech race.
Yeah, and we did have some back and forth in that game. Needless to say, the end game was heavily favored into Xefania's advantage. But in the early game and in the mid game, we did have some good Protoss pressure, actually. So, like, it wasn't as favored into the Terran's favor as we might have said it was.
It was that 3rd base, dude.
Yeah.
It's just the 3rd base. That's the thing. It's like had Haravant scouted that 3rd base and brought Xefania down to that 1 base economy,
yeah,
he would have been fine. He would have been just perfectly fine and just carried it from there.
Yeah, but he didn't. He did a really uncontested additional base with a lot of different with a lot of additional income. So he could actually support those 5 factories.
Yeah.
Like producing 3 siege tank at a time, producing quad Hellbats. And we saw that in the end game. He just rallied all of his stuff across the map and just sieged up the natural of a Haravant, destroying everything. And that is it for game number 1. And game number 2 is going to go live soon. It is on Derelict Watcher. Do you think that we might see bio on this map? Or is it just going to keep on rolling?
We might see drops.
Maybe.
Yeah. So you know, there might be some medevacs in play. There might be some bio. What I would love is for Xefania just to like close this out in style and go like nothing but mech the entire time.
Yeah.
Just be like, I'm going to make this work, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it.
Artosis sits at home and just, oh, that's good, man. Man, that's good.
And then curses him. You know, he gets one map away, and then Artosis is like, Xefania's totally got this. And then he just goes like 0-3 from there.
Oh god.
And then the curse of Artosis reigns. But guys, we are going to get into this map. It is loading up now. Derelict Watcher, this 1v1 player map. Again, a 1v1.
Yeah.
Or only 2 positions you can spawn on the map. So options limited. Scouting information, easy to get. Are they going to be able to figure it out, though? We do have the leader in this series up 1-0 so far, our Terran Hope and player. It is Xefania. And in the top right corner of the map, we have our Protoss player, currently 1 map down in this series. But, hey, hope is not gone. It springs eternal, or so I hear. It is Haravant, playing from home as well, something we have to take note of. Xefania is here at the LAN. Haravant is an onliner.
Home advantage, one might say, actually. But is the adrenaline just fueling Xefania at this point? He's sitting in a lovely booth with his headphones and some white noise. So he does have a crowd advantage.
Yeah, and there is quite a one. So guys, thanks all for tuning up for turning up today to enjoy these games with us. I mean, it's a pleasure to be putting on this show for you all. Yeah. And you guys being here makes it all worth it.
Oh, thank you, Semmler.
Yeah, man.
We do have a barracks coming down in the main base of Xefania. No CC first on this 2-player map. And we are probably going to see a gateway first from Haravant as well. A normal, standard, very usual Protoss versus Terran opening.
Yes. We shall not see any deviance from the plan.
Yeah, and we do have that normal gas timing as we saw in game number 1, as well in game number 2. And here we go, a Nexus first, actually.
Indeed.
Impressive.
This is going to change things up, isn't it? I mean, we're going to have the slower paced match already. Haravant is deciding to go for the economy-focused build. He wants to get that second base up and cranking. Xefania, however, is going to scout with his SEV at a reasonable time as well, so he's going to be he's going to know what his opponent is up to here.
Imagine if Xefania would actually go for a Reaper. I don't think that he will. He will probably go for the exactly same opening as last game. He is currently having 2 workers on gas, and it's mirrored to game number 1. So I don't see him deviating from his game plan. Then there we go. The reactor is right here, and he does see the Nexus first. He's thinking, oh, you Protoss, you greedy Protoss. And he sees the timing on the gateway, and now he must be pissed because oh, he lost the SCV, actually.
He lost the SCV. Nice surround there by Haravant. The one thing, however, is is this going to allow him? Is he just going to continue going with his plan? And if it looks like that's going to be the case, Xefania, I mean, it seems like he's got it pretty well mapped out, where he was still able to get a healthy number of Marines up and still, get this this natural expansion down at a reasonable time.
The issue, however, is that now that we do have the earlier Nexus for Haravant, we are going to get a delayed mothership core, and Xefania did actually scout this, so he should put on some earlier pressure, perhaps. But we do have that factory, the exactly same timing as the last game. So is he just going to go through the same motions and do the same build, or is he actually going to take this new game into consideration? I don't know.
I'm thinking so, man.
Do you think so?
I think he's just going to go over there with the same units, but the thing is, it's going to be harder for Haravant to hold this time around because his production is delayed.
Yeah, that's true.
Somewhat, so it could be a little bit tricky to hold strong. Xefania, I mean, he isn't really changing anything, and it doesn't look like he's really altering his plan. He's like, I have my build that I'm going to execute, and I don't really care what he does.
You know something funny? The workers tab is actually showing that Haravant is 10 ahead at this point already.
Yeah, he's killed one, too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a pretty big deal.
Additional gateways being morphed in.
I hear that Chrono is pretty good.
Chrono is pretty good. We do have double Widow Mines coming down. A Starport is being produced. And we have the exactly same game plan as game number 1, but it worked so well for Xefania. A lot of probes who went down that game, and a Zealot being on a pilgrimage.
Yeah, this Zealot is not long for this world. Oh, no, he's going to let him live with 27 points of health. Why didn't you chase him down, Xefania?
Man, those Marines are not marathon runners, unfortunately. They are not
That's
going to run down.
I mean, with what he's got right now, Xefania, I mean, you can't really know what he's gone for, however. Haravant. So I suppose, you know, he's erring on the side of
yeah, that's true.
Of, you know, just playing it very safe. That's what he's doing. He's playing it very safe, and rather than go forth and, you know, seek glory with those Marines, he's actually going to just hang back at his base and make sure that that Haravant can't catch him off guard with anything.
Yeah, and when you actually say this, we have a bunker coming down into the natural of Xefania. We have double Widow Mines, quad Widow Mines actually moving up into the main base, and are probably going to get dropped by this medevac. Impressively thought out by our Terran player. And we have a proxy pylon coming down, additional robo facility as well. And I believe that Warp Gate is currently done. And we have 4 gates at home for Haravant.
Currently morphing into warp gates as well. So are we going to see some aggression? Are we going to see some aggressive warp-ins? We do have the army making its way across the map. He's got a few sentries as well. And there we go, the warp-in happening at the first proxy pylon. We do have more Zealots getting added to the mix, as well as a handful of sentries. It looks like he's going to go knocking at the front door.
There are pylons everywhere currently. And Xefania is just moving along with his game plan, not knowing what's up. With
he needs to get in there. He needs to get in there fast.
And Widow Mines are coming into the main right now, and Haravant is not really reacting. He's moving up.
Oh no, he needs to pull units off. He needs to pull units off. He's got the SCVs. They're going to repair. If this bunker stays alive, it's going to be the biggest of deals. But the force fields are great. They're making it more and more difficult. But so much time being bought. The Zealots are no longer there to buffer the damage. There's just not enough.
A nice Widow Mine shot, taking out the mothership core actually. And
in the meantime, in the main base, these Widow Mines, how many units did they kill? How many pros did they actually manage to snipe? Because
13 workers
exactly,
have gone down.
That is a lot. That is a big problem here. 17, it goes off again. And this lone brave Widow Mine is going to be hunted down. The observer's up in the sky, but the medevac is there, and it boosts them to safety. This is interesting.
A hero Widow Mine, and in the natural.
Oh, them Widow Mines, them Widow Mines, them Widow Mines. There's one more, and he goes for one.
We do have 3 sentries currently. Oh, nice force field there by Haravant, closing out everything at the natural.
Yeah,
one time actually locking himself in.
Cheeky
and we do have a double Hellbat being produced and pulling the SCVs. He is going to negate this pressure. Currently, we do have that Widow Mine in the main base of Haravant.
Xefania is a cheeky bugger. Look at this. He goes for another one. Gets another couple probes with that Widow Mine in the main base. So, nice damage being dealt. And the problem here is, you know, sentries are not very good versus Hellbats, last I heard. There has been a warp-in of Stalkers, though, so there's a little bit of something here to help this lone sentry. But he's attempting to flashlight a bunch of, you know, flamethrower-wielding robots. That's not the best kind of situation to be in.
Is a Hellbat a robot, really? Or is it just...
Well, it's a guy in a robot suit, so it's like RoboCop. I mean, are you actually going to try and flamethrower RoboCop? No. It doesn't work.
Additional probes going down. We are up to 23 probe kills. So this is really bad for Haravant. We do have a double probe production going on, and the medevac at the third base getting picked off by these stalkers. Bap. And I believe that Haravant is going to try and transition into a third base, probably. We did have 6 gates going down.
Maybe.
And a failed pressure, in my opinion. So,
yeah.
And he did actually forget to morph in one of the gateways into a warp gate. If we take a look at the main base.
Yeah, he's got to be wondering about that. That's been that way for a while, and he's had time to see it as well, and he still is yet to morph it. So Haravant, you know, under pressure, I think he's feeling it right now, despite the fact that he is at home.
Pretty micro in the middle of the map with 2 Hellbats and 2 Stalkers. Taking down this medevac, actually. Nice pickoff. And 1 Marine taking down this pylon. This is a micro fest right here.
Yeah, this is you know, keeping that 1 Stalker alive, man. It's hard versus a lumbering robot, man.
Yeah, Semmler, we do have mech in this game as well.
You're lying to me.
I'm not lying. Take a look at the main base of Xefania. A lot of factories coming down.
Damn near brings a tear to my eye.
And here we have a lot of stalkers coming into the natural of Xefania. A nice Widowmine shot. And did he actually get the observer?
He got the observer. Oh, there's another one there.
Yeah, we do have 2 observers on the map. So we are going to take
Time warp! You shall not micro! And now, well, I mean, these Widow Mines, they have to get picked up. They cannot stay burrowed there. They're within range of the stalker shots, and some good shots here. Haravant is putting the pressure on Xefania. He does not want to get him to, he does not want to allow him to get back into this game in any meaningful way. And the problem is that the bunker is going to go down, and there is no longer anything here to buffer. There's quite a lot for Haravant, but still, it's like SCV's pulled off the line. Everything being pulled off the line to put a stop to this attack.
Some pretty force fields right there by Haravant. And the siege tank are out, but is it too late, Semmler? I do think so. We do have
No, it's never too late for siege tanks. Siege up! Yes, they do. And now, well, the shells are going to start raining from the sky. Get out of the base! Haravant is forced out. And now, well, things can return to a bit more of a stable situation here for Xefania.
Haravant is still putting on some pressure. He wants to cancel this third CC, but he is not going so. This command center finishes and then starts having a fire fest.
Yeah, and this is the answer. You see Haravant, he's like, okay, I've got him on a bit of a passive contain here. I've got the units outside. He can't exactly move out yet because mech is not the most mobile of armies. That's the one thing. The one problem, you got to be really patient when playing mech because you can't really, you know, it's like tanks are driven by Swedish drivers. You know, they just respect the speed limit. They never go up it. And when the speed limit is 20 kilometers an hour, they go 20 kilometers an hour, and it takes ages for them to get anywhere.
Man, we need a trans driver.
Yeah, exactly, man. That's right. That's right. You know, we need some siege tanks with trans in the wheel. You know, he'll get arrested in Germany again, and things will go great. But we do have this third base that has finished for Xefania, and he's going to start floating that around. It looks like, for the time being at least, he is content to sit back. He is going for, what, the double Hellbat drop again. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see. It did work out for him on the first map of this series. Are we going to see the same kind of results here?
Maybe. I mean, we do have one Immortal. Oh, no, he actually moved it away from the main base. That warp gate is, that gateway still not being morphed into a warp gate. And I believe that we are going to get some more probe kills in this game. We do have a third Nexus coming down, and triple workers should be produced, but I do think that Haravant is slacking off a bit. And here we go, the medevacs are getting dropped in the main base.
And boy, roasting those gatherers, look at that. Boy, and he gathers them up on the misspin. Oh, the misclick. The misclick, he's going to suffer for that one, Haravant. He lost an entire worker line, and this drop has already paid off in spades. He gets the feedback on the medevac, but just barely short. And the medevac, I mean, we still have the Hellbats roasted.
And the Hellbats actually took out 2 High Templars as well. Do you know what High Templars does against Hellbats without Storm? They do nothing. Absolutely nothing. We have 46 probes getting killed in this game. This is insane. And Xefania finds the pylon at his third base and is going to drop the third CC. Man.
Dude, look at that. He's actually dropping another scanning tower as well. Like,
he wants control.
He wants control, man. He's like, come at me, bro. I'm just going to keep dropping you. I'm going to keep roasting entire mineral lines worth of workers. And you can't take a fight because I now have 1 billion siege tanks.
Yeah, and do you know what would be really fun? If he went into, like, goody mode and just leapfrog across the entire map.
Sweet Jesus, no. We can't be here all afternoon.
Yeah, but
I mean, Goody.
Come on.
Goody is like the slowest player in the history of StarCraft.
Oh, that would be fun, though.
I mean, he puts Thorzane to shame, and Thorzane is a slow player.
Well, he is with Spoon Terran for a reason. We do have a massive siege up right here. A lot of Stalkers just disappearing. Nice storms, though, on these Hellbats, but they are just getting tickled. They are not killed.
They are indeed. And this is, I mean, this is what we're talking about. Xefania is now just comfortable. It looks like Haravant's going to try and look for a different angle to work, and he is going to try and take advantage of the fact that, hey, siege tanks, they have to siege up, you know, to be very effective in this fight with these Immortals here. But it looks like Xefania, I mean, he's kind of in this mid-ground. He's kind of sitting in that choke point, and it's going to be so difficult for Haravant to find a way in.
Something that Xefania, although have missed in this game, is currently he doesn't have Blue Flame, I believe. So that is going to come into play when those Zealots are going to get on top of these Hellbats. But there are
exactly, you got like 30 Hellbats.
Ooh, a nice little standoff right here. Massive siege
Kaboom.
shot. No. Oh.
Bam. There we go. One immortal gets picked.
Well, I don't think he has a proper name to be called an immortal if he just disappeared right there. Maybe he should get Blink. I mean, he can disappear, obviously. And here we have 2 Archons. One of them might go down.
I mean, that's a good move there. I mean, it's really Haravant looking for the options at this point. A nice Storm is going to go drop right on top of these Hellbats, and that's actually kind of tricky here. Good micro coming out, and again, the Storms just continue to rain in. The damage is getting in here, but the Siege Tanks continue to land the shells. They take the shots, and there is so few units left here for Haravant.
A lot of sellouts right here, and we are getting on top of these Siege Tanks. And Haravant is actually cleaning all of this up.
Oh, man. It's that pylon. The fact that that pylon was right there. He took that fight. Xefania would have been fine if that warp-in wasn't so close. Haravant, however, able to warp in Zealots right on top of the Siege Tanks. That changed everything.
We have a random little Widowmine right here getting picked off, but getting a sellout in exchange. And behind this, Haravant is actually being real proper with reproducing all of his probes. He's up to 58 workers. And even after losing all of his workers previously, he's doing a real good job with his macro. He's being up 40 supply. Or, I'm sorry, he's being down 40 supply, actually.
He's been down 40, 50, 60 supply this whole time. This is the thing. Like, he's still managing to take these fights and somehow make them work. And having cleaned up that entire army there, Xefania takes a long time to reproduce that number of Siege Tanks, that many Hellbats. So we can expect to have a little bit of a return to peace for now, at least, seeing as how Haravant is currently in full map. He has full control of the map.
I'm not going to throw this one at you, but, I mean, Haravant is actually behind, so what tech do you choose, Ben?
Behind? I mean, DTs, clearly.
Yeah, clearly. In the main base, we do have a DT Shrine being morphed in. And here we go, the Hellbats.
I didn't even notice that. I thought they were just trolling me, and I was going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go, like, yeah, I have to say DTs because when behind, go DTs.
Yeah.
And there is actually a DT thing morphing.
Dude, the gateway actually finished, and he did morph it.
Roasty toasty time in third base, and look at that. He's already managing to pick off the probes again. It's just crazy how well Haravant is able to hold on, and he's again going for it. Don't do that. Stop clicking on your Vespian.
He did actually learn this time, though, and running away with all of those workers. But we did lift off with the boost, and
no,
is he going?
Micro!
Oh, he did attack the Stalker instead. A mistake from his side, but he is going to drop again on these workers. No, he's just...
No, just save it. Just save it. Just save it. Yeah, and he is. He's going to boost on home. And that's... No need to risk it. No need to give up the medevac. He did get some probe kills, and he did save both Hellbats as well. So, not too shabby there. And now, again, we're starting to get that siege tank count up. We are starting to get, you know, a good-sized army here for Xefania.
Yeah, he's establishing a fourth base. He is trying to get additional income. We actually have the Haravant's Nexus being done for quite some time, mining that Vespene Geyser. Actually just starting those Vespene Geysers, as we can see when clicking on top of them. This Hellbat, again, trying to pick up this pylon, getting roasted by those lasers. A lot of High Templars, actually. We have 11 of them on the field.
Yeah, there's quite a few here. Yeah, and they are stacked up, you're right. I mean, one Ghost would have a field day with these cats, but it's not meant to be, it's not going to happen, and does seem like Xefania, at least, is the one who's stuck on static defense. Haravant, however, has made a Warp Prism. He is going to have options to harass, so it looks like he wants to try and split his opponent's attention right now.
And he is lifting up this command center. Very wise of him not want to get like annihilated by all of those Zealots. Nice siege shop right here, trying to get this Protoss army to move away. We have double starport going up in the main base. So he's preparing for some kind of Colossus switch, or is he actually moving into Ravens?
Ravens!
I hope please. Ravens, please, tech labs. Come on, make some tech labs. Please, pretty please. Oh, well, fuck you. Okay, we have a War Prism in the third base of Xefania, and we have some Zealots being warped in. And they are going
there's
to
that Warp Prism, yo. There's that Warp Prism, and now you get look at this again. It's just split the opponent's attention. He's got action over at the third base. He's going to take over this fourth base, and he may actually manage to pick it off out of the sky. Good shots coming in from the Stalkers, and they've just completely cleaned everything up on this fourth base. Not a soul left. It's a slaughter.
Oh, and all of those SVs trying to repair that command center are going to go down from those storms. Is this command center actually going to survive?
Burn!
Ooh, a lot of storms coming down here.
He doesn't have an SCV. He has to like drop a mule or something right now if he wants to save that command center. He needs to save that command center. Don't let
60,
it burn. Don't let it die.
50.
Don't let it die.
Ah.
There they are. The SCVs in the nick of time save the day.
Nice save from Xefania right there, saving his fourth center. And a lot of siege tank being out of position, getting picked off right here. move by Xefania, but a nice pickoff for Haravant.
He was going for the standard tried and true siege tank flank. Unfortunately for him, it didn't quite play out. Haravant too quick on his toes, man. He was able to get there and deny it.
Imagine if he would have done the same move, but sieged up. He might have gotten all those high Templars.
Yeah, he might have. It was a close call.
Yeah, currently we have one lone high Templar getting into the third base. He's going to try and get some storms down, and he does. Gets 3 walker kills.
The thing is that he's reacting with his entire army here. The entire army for Xefania is up on the main, is up on his third base. He's leaving the fourth base exposed again. And Haravant has got to be careful, though. He's getting caught in a bit of a tight spot. And there's the storms going down, but the siege is about to go up. Can they get the first salvo? And they do pick off most of the high Templars. Only 2 left. That is not a whole lot to work with. Haravant's army, he does not have a whole lot to put up a strong fight.
And the Hellbats are just annihilating all Zealots. And the 4th command center is once again moving up into the main to safety. And
them storms.
This game is moving back and forth.
Yeah.
And Haravant still being under Xefania in supply. We have Hellbats in the natural killing the few probes that are there. And a giant warp-in currently.
Nice feedbacks.
Getting those medevacs. Nice pick off there.
But the problem is that he's like, well, then you can't have, like, the thing is, Xefania has to be wondering right now, how are you still in this game? Like, how do you have the money? And he has to be thinking, well, I need to get over to this fourth base and actually do something. But let's take a look at the third base here for Xefania. It looks like some harassment is coming in. Haravant able to return the favor, perhaps.
And the High Templar gets picked off. And if we take a look at the workers lost, we have 80 probes gone down and 40 SCVs.
This game.
The units tab shows that the Terran player is 15 or... Yeah, no, he's continuously producing SCVs again. Good. So he's trying to get up that worker supply again. We have both armies in the middle of the map trying to engage, and the Protoss army is moving forward. A giant siege shop right here.
Oh no, he's not moving!
Ooh. Nice.
I mean, he killed off nearly all of the meat shield. Like, those Hellbats, there are not a whole lot to work with now. But the other thing is he just took an entire salvo. Like, that whole siege tank flower just completely obliterated the front line for Haravant.
Yeah, I mean, all those frontline troops just disappeared. We have additional work army. I don't know, man. I don't know. This game.
It's all over the place. But we do have, I like this actually, 1 siege tank, and the planetary is going to deny any kind of harass coming in here on the fourth base for Xefania. So he's going to be able to mine there in peace finally. But it's just the power of Haravant's army at this point. He's built it so perfectly to deal with this mech composition that he's able to hold on despite the fact that he's lost like 80 probes this game.
Yeah, and I do believe that we have the last upgrade finished for the mech weapons. So it is an insanely powerful army. But there's so many Archons, and we have no Ghost on the field. So they are incredibly powerful at this moment, and they are going to barge into the fourth base, probably. No, maybe. Come on, get down the ramp. There we go. But a massive amount of siege tank has been able to move down there to protect this. So he's just going to go out and rest his forces for another.
He's got so many siege tanks. Yeah. Like, look at that. That is a lot of siege tanks.
He has 28 siege tanks, with additional 2 being produced. I can't remember the last time I saw this many siege tanks in a game.
And now he just needs to split them. Like, split them. Okay, it looks like Haravant wants to take a bit of a fight here.
And
he darts forward. Back. Nice storms and nice shots there. Little tasers, you know, from those Archons. Actually managing to pick off quite a few of those Hellbats. That's the thing. He's got so many siege tanks, but he doesn't have much of a meat shield to go in front of them. Like, the Hellbat count is so low at this point.
Yeah, and we do have the medevacs moving up right now, and he is going directly to that fourth base. And meanwhile, Haravant is moving to Xefania's fourth base.
Good reactions this time around, however, from Haravant. He's able to actually pull out and get those probes back to safety. We do have the lone Hellbat. He knows what's up, and he gives chase, but he is not going to be able to catch up those probes, man. They're legging it to the third base. The problem is that there's still Hellbats hitting that fourth. And are they actually going to be able to do enough damage to no, they do work their way through the shields.
Yeah, but the army is right here right now, so...
Yeah, and the warping of Stalkers was able to buy some time, divert the attention, and, well, the Stalkers, they're getting the shots, but the boost is there.
We do have a 5th command center being produced right now for Xefania. He is trying to edge his way into the lead of the macro game. He is maxed currently, and Haravant is fed supply down. Not as bad as the first portion of the game, but currently we do have a massive amount of siege tanks. We have 33 siege tanks currently, Semmler.
Yeah.
This is exciting.
This is ridiculous because how are they ever going to be able to take a fight at this point? Xefania, he's losing his meat shield right now again, trying to bait Haravant in perhaps, and I suppose it's a bit of a staggered line. Like you have quite a few siege tanks in the back lines here. And once they close the distance, Haravant is going to start taking a lot of damage.
And another Hellbat drop in the 4th base of Haravant, and he's not watching his probes. This Hellbat is getting some kills right there, but he is getting picked off right now by this dog.
This is the problem. It's so difficult for Xefania to actually move in and punish this. You know, Haravant, like every time he's able to just move with this pretty mobile army. I mean, apart from the High Templars, everything is pretty speedy in here.
Imagine if one Void Ray would appear. There are only 2 Vikings on the field.
Yeah, that's the thing. As well, you know, like Air Toss, go Void Ray, go Tempest.
Yeah.
You know, where's the Tempest?
But he's been dumping so much gas into these High Templars and Archons. But a nice siege shop right here, and I think that this is going to be the end of game number 2. All of those Archons being annihilated, Semmler. Man, so much died right there.
Yeah, he lost like his entire army. His entire army just vanished.
Yeah, he lost like 70 supply right there. At the 4th base, we do have 1 Stalker. However,
he can A-move now.
Yeah, he can just move in. He doesn't need siege mode even. He can just go and do whatever.
What's making its way across the middle of the map here? Let's see. We do have like the 3 siege tanks alone. They're going for the flank again, man. I believe.
Do mech units have a dance?
That's a good question. How would you dance a tank?
This would be the opportunity to
all
test
I picture is like a tank just going in circles.
Yeah, that's true. Or like doing a wheelie or something. I don't know.
But he's able to siege up on this base, and the thing is, if this base goes down, Haravant is going to be in so much trouble. He's going to be reduced to 1 mining base, and that's just not a winnable situation. He just closes the gap. He's trying to get in there, take the fight, but he is left with 60 supply and 2 lone immortals. The last of his army. I mean, he's got a warp in at the bottom of the map, but that is it.
Xefania has an established 5th base. We do have some Hellbats here battling with these Stalkers, and Haravant is trying to micro his life. But there we have the GG of game number 2. Mech having a comeback in StarCraft 2. Impressive play right there by Xefania.
He's very pleased, man. He is very pleased.
Yeah, as he should be. Impressively played by him. Very patiently as well. I mean, he didn't really stress when we have a lot of pressure at the 4th base. He had to lift it like 3 times before he could actually establish the planetary fortress. But when he actually got it down, it was just smooth sailing from there on out.
Yeah, it really did seem like this kind of, it was on a seesaw. And unfortunately, you know, for Haravant there, that time he missed his window to really get in. Like the first time he cleaned up that army, I think he needed to just like press that advantage and keep the pressure going. And unfortunately for him, he allowed there to be so many siege tanks, like what, 40-something tanks on the map. You're just like, how do I ever fight this?
Yeah, I mean, with no air, you can't engage it. Yeah. If even half of the army is sieged up, it's like 16, 20 siege tanks being sieged up. You don't walk into that many siege tanks with a ground army. Everything just disappears. It dies so fast.
Yeah.
So
that's exactly what we saw as well.
He tried to eke out some kind of game out of it, but with Storm and Archons and Stalkers, you can't really do that much. However, we do have game number 3 on Belshia Vestige.
Yeah, map it's a pretty common map as well. You know?
Yeah, pretty old map,
Throwback to Ohana, you know, really. I mean, they really literally just kind of like made Ohana 2.0.
Yeah, that's true. We should have some creeps moving back and forth.
Yeah.
Like just neutral creeps, just attacking everything.
Exactly. I mean, guys, that is going to be game 3, and I think we are in the lobby, and the countdown has begun. So we're going to be starting this map. And are we going to see Xefania go through 3-0? At this point, it really is going to come down to Haravant trying to throw a curveball to catch him off guard.
I think that the big question is he going to do the same excellent opener as we saw in game number 1 and game number 2?
Yeah, are they going to stick to what's worked for them in the past? Or at least Xefania, I can't imagine him changing anything up. It's really, I think it's really coming down to Haravant at this point.
Really
like Haravant needs to do something to catch him off guard. Needs to do something to surprise him.
Yeah.
And, well, you know, we'll find out if that's going to work out. We have loaded it into the map, and spawning in the bottom right corner of the map, it is going to be our Protoss player, currently down 0-2 in this series. Needs to get this map to keep his hopes alive and not be knocked out here in the second quarterfinal. He needs to do it. It is Haravant. Right. Have to mention his name. And in the top left corner of the map, our Terran hope, so far showing that mech is viable. It is Xefania. And this is the red Terran. And he has done a masterful job so far. Very patient play, as we were saying, you know, just really taking his time, demonstrating what someone with 50 tanks can get done.
Yeah, very, very, very entertaining, in my opinion, to see those many siege tanks. I haven't seen that since, like, TVTs. And even then, it's like, it stops at, what, around 20, around 25? Like a meching player, you need some force and you need some air.
You need some Hellbats, you need some Vikings, you know, like Medevacs too.
If it goes super late game, you need some battle cruisers.
If it goes super late game, it's like, you know, it's not even battle cruisers. You need like a whole flock of Vikings, don't you, to deal with the Tempest that you know are on the way.
Yeah, that's true.
If you're sticking mech, like that was the one thing for Haravant. He invested so heavily into that army, that gas-heavy army with the High Templars and the Archons and the Immortals, the Stalkers, everything costed gas, that he was never able to swap over to air. And if he could have just got those Tempests out, it could have changed everything for him, because he would have had the Storm for the Vikings.
Yeah,
he could have just, you know, blasted them out of the air that way. And then you have the Tempest that can just pick off the siege tanks at will. So
Xefania never transitioned. He just kept making siege tanks. And obviously it worked for him.
Well, he was just like, I am a man with a plan, and this is going to be it.
You know, I got this army that it's been working recently, and I haven't lost a game since.
He just loves blowing things to bits, man. He goes with Widow Mines or siege tanks, but he is a fan of seeing limbs flying through the air.
Yeah.
Whether they be Stalker limbs or, you know, pieces of Immortals. You know, that's what he's into right now. We can clearly see this.
Yeah. Semmler, guess what? We have the same opening for Xefania.
Yeah, why he doesn't need to change.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to change.
Haravant, on the other hand, I mean, what should he do differently? I mean, currently we do have this is the match point for Xefania. If he wins this, it's a 3-0 in this quarterfinal. So this is match point. This is like, if you don't get your stuff together right now, you're out. And I don't want Heralds of the Apocalypse to just get thrown out of this tournament like this. I mean, he can't engage the late game army of Xefania currently with all of those siege tanks and all of those Hellbats, but what can he do differently? Is he going to change up his army composition? Is he going to go for a heavier timing, a later timing perhaps? What should he do?
Well, he's already changed it up. He's going 3 gates.
3 gates. Is he going to throw down a Nexus, or is he just going to get on with the aggression? I think he's going to...
I mean, he's got probes every which way right now. He's sending 1 probe across the map now, so he will start getting over there, getting an idea of what his opponent is up to. And there's the 4th gate going down. Yeah, this is the thing. I think he's just going to commit to getting the job done. And Xefania, you know, having not changed up his build, is he going to have what it takes to put a stop to this? I mean, he's going to crank out those Marines, as we saw, 2 at a time. But again, you have the factory already under construction. We can't expect to see the mines. He needs to set up a solid defense here, Xefania. He has to be wondering, and he's going to have the SCV as well. He's going to see there's no Nexus.
This is key for Xefania.
Like, this is one base play.
Ooh, he needs to go into the main base to see everything currently. We do have some Marines at the natural, but against the 4-gate, Marines aren't going to do that much. A first pylon is going up at Xefania's 3rd base, and the probe is moving into the natural. A bunker being started, but the probe doesn't care. He's moving right up into the main.
He's just moving that probe in there to die. Okay. Well, I mean, perhaps he's like, okay, now, or maybe, you know, it's mind games, man. It's mind games. Xefania now thinks, okay, I've killed the probe, but there's a 2nd probe. And he hasn't seen the 2nd probe. Haravant, he's covering it all, man. He's like, yeah, you can, oh no, it's a Stalker, never mind. So, my mind games go out the window. He, in fact, does lose that stuff, does lose his probe, so no more forward pylons for this gen.
Ooh, and the bunker was cancelled, and he raises his orbital. He knows something is off currently, and is getting that early siege check. Perhaps he is thinking this is blink all in, and he just moves up into the main base and try to get into fetal position, trying to protect himself in every which way. And
no, there's a
scan.
There's a scan.
What does
Why doesn't he just commit with this SCV on the natural? That's the thing. Like, he's still got this SCV. He could just run up there. Now he sees the base going down, though.
Oh, and here we go. Stalker's moving up into
at the ramp. There's the action. Do they have the bunkers? And no, the bunkers are not finished. He's going to have to pull SCVs off the line to buffer this. And that time warp going down going to make things so difficult. The Zealot's able to close the gap.
The siege tank is out. It's getting siege moded. And there we go. The first big hit on those Stalkers. And is Haravant actually going to commit? No. We do have a Nexus being put down. So he is trying to transition. We do have a Stargate, speaking of which, in the main base. Finally, some air units, Semmler. Finally.
I think that's it. He's like, okay, well, if you are going to go siege tanks this time around, I will be prepared. I will be ready and waiting. And now we get to see he's going to go for a second crack at this. The stock, I mean, the siege tank is there, though. He has to be so careful with this mothership core as well, seeing as how there's quite a few Marines out.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Marines, and I mean, Stargate
Wait a second.
in all
Where is
honor.
that turret being built?
That turret is being built behind the main maneuver.
I love it. So what, is he predicting oracles right now?
I think he fears them, but I'm not sure if we are going to see them. We are getting to the Stargate right now, and something should be produced currently. The mothership core trying to poke at that siege tank. Nothing happening currently. The Stargate is still not producing anything. Come on, do something.
Void
Please.
Rays.
Void Rays? Really?
Void Rays.
Maybe. Void Rays.
See?
See. Man, CSGO really tunes up your StarCraft skills.
Easy, man. StarCraft is a very easy game.
Very easy.
This is just him, getting in there. Now we're actually going to have that leapfrog motion coming down. The siege tank going to slowly work its way out, slowly force these units out for Haravant. Haravant is going to have so much difficulty now to get in here and try and, well, again, execute that chokehold where he wants to get him up into the main base and deny this.
Guard
but with the
shield.
siege tanks here, he can't take this fight, Haravant. He can't run in. There's too much here. There's 3 siege tanks and the Marines. You can just A-move with those Marines, Xefania. You can kill everything.
This is bad for Haravant. He is getting annihilated currently. So many Stalkers going down. All of his sellouts are just gone, and these Stalkers are trying to poke at this orbital, but as soon as he is moving into siege strength, he just can't move any further.
Yeah,
He's
delaying. He's delaying. So he did manage to get it to lift.
Yeah, but at home we have 1 Void Ray. I mean, against all of these Marines, how much can he actually do? Double bunker coming down.
Void Rays are good. But yeah, the double bunker going down. The problem is he didn't leapfrog. He didn't move his siege tanks up closer.
We have 3 siege tank currently, 1 at the bottom of the ramp and 2 at the top. He needs to move those 2 in the
Yeah,
back
exactly.
a little bit
Take
further.
advantage of this. Now that there's this hiatus here, you can actually move those siege tanks, get them a little bit closer to the fight so that, Haravant won't be able to deny this base any longer. But the bunkers are getting close to finish. We do have that 1 siege tank. It's landing shots. The Void Ray has been aligned, and now, well, we have the SCVs. They're trying to repair that. They can't quite keep that bunker alive.
There's no sentries though, so there's no force field to keep those SCVs from repairing. So they are getting free surface area on top of those bunkers. So that second bunker is not going to go down. We have a missile turret being built and a second bunker. This is the time to put down those forward siege tanks. And we do have 4 of them currently. And I don't know why he's still camping at the top ramp, and a drop in the natural.
That timing. He's going to get in here and he's going to say, hey, I can do the same thing. I do happen to have drops, sir. And now he's going to force the entire army. Look at that. The entire army coming back for Haravant. This is working perfectly for Xefania. He's going to relieve the pressure on his base. In the meantime, he's making sure that Haravant can't get too comfortable. And Haravant actually has the Artosis pylon.
That pylon, indeed. And the Marines are actually getting into a nice nook right here. And the probes are trying to move around. I don't know what he's doing. Those Marines are just trying to get away, not getting picked off, actually. Or this is some night dodging.
Yeah, and at the natural as well. At the natural as well, there's some attack going on. There's a little bit of action. And it looks like it did get cleaned up in the end, but we had, the low Marine trying to make his way in there. This time around, however, Haravant is showing his hand. He's saying, well, I do have Void Rays, and I do have what it takes to actually, attack from the sky. You're going to have to keep that in mind. And what do we see coming out of Xefania? The Vikings. So this time around, he is actually adjusting his strategy. He hasn't stopped the siege tank production. He's thrown down his armory now so he can start cranking out those Hellbats, but most importantly, he's starting to get Vikings out on the map.
Yeah, and he's continuously producing Marines. We still have Vikings being produced. We have siege tanks. We have a third CC as well. He's just getting his macro plan and his macro plan is getting formed right now. And I think that we are going to see continuous pressure, even though this probe is kind of looking like he's going to take a third base for Haravant, but
yeah, look at
I
this.
don't know.
This is cool. He's trying to abuse the fact, well, now we do have the turrets going down, and this is something that he's going to have to keep in mind, but the Marines are on the way. They're looking to save the day, and they will not make it in time. The Vikings here, however, are going to be able to start taking pot shots, and they can outrange these Void Rays. The Void Rays now have to be put on a timer, but I do like this play here from Haravant, trying to force, play off of the fact that Xefania's army is so static, cannot move very quickly at all.
There's no Stalkers to support this Void Ray, so it is maybe going to go down. Yes.
Nice. One last shot does it.
We have
That's 2 Void Rays for 1 Viking. That was like the hero Viking. That was the Viking from the HOTS trailer.
Yeah, that's true.
Except that it wasn't an Ultralisk. It was, a Void Ray.
Well, we do have the third expansion coming soon.
We'll have another hero Viking.
Another one. We have a nice move in here by Haravant. A lot of siege tank though, and he is targeting those sentries. A lot of them just died right there. And
still, you got like 5 siege tanks.
Yeah. I mean, there's still a lot, and I think that we are seeing continuous mech transitioning.
This is the thing. He doesn't have the meat shield this time around, unfortunately. I mean, the bunkers are there, but those are just like a handful of Marines, and they are pretty far back. He needs to get the bunkers up at the door now and just kind of siege up, sit behind it, mass up. But now look at this. We actually have Xefania going for a drop into the main base. Is Haravant going to be able to react in time this time around? Seeing as how there's action happening on the other side of the map, is he going to be able to do it? And yes, he does lose 3 probes before being able to pull out in time, and now the Marines continue going for more.
And he is just picking apart these probes currently. He's targeting them as well. And he is picking up, and he's going into the natural instead. Those Zealots cannot run that fast, even with charge.
No, that's a problem. Look at that again, just racking up kill after kill after kill. And we do have the 3rd Nexus going down, but the problem is that's pretty far off. Haravant is losing supply, and the Marines just continue going to work. And at this point, Xefania can just be like, yo, leave the Marines. They did their job. They paid off in spades at this point.
Yeah, I mean, this is super efficient by Xefania. And currently, I believe he's ahead in the work count. Yes, he's ahead by 12 workers. And he does have his 3rd CC. It is currently not on the ground, though. And he has 2 mules on it. And I don't know when he's deciding to put that down. He should do it pretty soon. He has a nice flock of Vikings and a couple of siege tanks. He has 4 of them. I do want to see more, though. We do have 2 factories being produced somewhere in the natural. So this is starting to transition into another macro game, Semmler. How are you digging this mech style?
I'm liking it. I mean, it is slow-paced. You do have to be quite patient both to play it and watch it. But, you know, it is very cool to see something new, something different, something refreshing. Because after seeing M for ages, to actually see mech on the field and Xefania making it work, that is a pleasure.
It's been over a year of MMM.
It's been like freaking 4 years, man, like honestly.
Yeah, that's true. But the Terran players that have tried to do some mech previously has tried and unfortunately often failed. But Xefania proving its viability in this tournament. We do have another couple of medevacs at the 3rd base. I don't know why they are just chilling right there. Maybe just getting some Vest beam.
It's all about the Dark Shrine though, bro. When you're behind, make Templars, and preferably the ones that are invisible. They are going to get in there and start wreaking havoc, and this is going to be a tricky deal, actually, for Xefania, seeing as how he has such a static army, you know, reacting to DTs running around. It's a little tricky, although he is setting up that static defense, as we were saying earlier, you know, push the bunkers out, and he's actually just putting up turrets everywhere. So I'm wondering if these aren't to deal with the Viking, or not the Vikings, but the Void Rays, and some, you know, they're actually just going to play out for the DTs as well.
Yeah, it's like it's like when you open Phoenix in Zerg vs Protoss, and you want to transition into Dark Templars, but then all of a sudden you remember when you warp in your Dark Templars, oh wait, it still has spores from when I harassed him with Phoenixes. So he anticipated air, and he saw air, and now he has all the detection he needs for that DT, and here we have it moving into the 3rd base and getting annihilated at the ramp here.
Yeah, this is going to be really tricky. Again, we're kind of in this standoff, but one thing to note is that Xefania, again, with like this 50 supply lead, flat out. And Haravant, you know, he's actually supply blocked at 110, so hopefully he's got some pylons. Yeah, he's got 5 of them going down.
Ooh,
so he's
are the medevacs going to see this warp prism?
Not
no,
sure
I
if
don't
they did.
think so.
Doesn't look like it.
He is getting into the main base currently, and we are going to see some Zealots being warped in. Oh, it's the warp prism. I think actually, oh, it did went down, but we do have 3 Dark Templars in the main base currently, going to take out this
if they get the upgrades, that's a big deal. That's going to delay a lot here. And this is +2 our attack that's about to go down. He needs to get like SCVs or something on it.
5 seconds left on the upgrade.
He's got the time.
Yeah, he got it. And a nice scan, actually, taking out 2 of the Dark Templars.
And in the meantime, here at the 3rd base, the Hellbats going to work. They're cleaning up this entire mineral line. Haravant is not able to react in time. He does not pull them back, and this is a problem. He has lost all of his gatherers on this base. That is it. There's like 1 lone probe, and it's getting gas, but doesn't have a whole lot of hope. And now in the main base as well, the drop. He is just pressuring Haravant so hard now, Xefania. He is not letting up.
Yeah, he's pulling him apart currently, and there are almost no workers left for Haravant. We have 29 of them versus the 63 of Xefania, with mules as well. So the income is heavily favored in Xefania's favor.
This is just, it's funny. Isn't it an interesting style to see? Because Haravant at this point is just struggling to keep up. But he realizes, I can't actually attack him head-on because of the siege tanks. And then Xefania's like, well, I'll just make medevacs and drop you everywhere with a unit that can obliterate. You know, if you get 2-3 of them stacked up together, they'll clean out your mineral line in a blink of an eye.
And the Hellbats are still alive.
Again.
I can't believe this. They are still wreaking havoc in the main, in the third, and we have a Warp Prism in the main of Xefania.
Yeah, the Warp Prism is there, but it's like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, and we do have Vikings moving into it right now, so they are getting taken out. And the Hellbats at the third are as well getting taken out, but not before dealing a ton of damage. 85 workers killed in this game by Xefania.
Does that qualify as genocide?
Well, it is probes, not humans. So
that's probes, that's right.
Yeah, so no. But
I mean, that's just a slaughter. He's got 100. He's got more than 100 supply lead right now, Xefania. He is just so far ahead. He would have to pass out on his keyboard right now to give Haravant a chance to get back into this game. Haravant, I mean, most of his supply now, that's the thing. Pretty much all of his supply is his army at this point.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, and he's 110 supply behind currently, salvaging some bunkers. And we have force, we have Vikings, we have Hellbats, we have siege tanks, and a couple of Marines. And what can Haravant actually do in this position? And Xefania is moving out, but he can just A-move currently. He's so far ahead, and he's going to take out this mothership core.
Yeah, and no Immortals as well. You know, we got some great storms going down on those on the Hellbats, and look at that. You know, managing to clean them up. The problem is there's no real meat to this army. There's no Archons, there's no Immortals, there's no Zealots. Like, he's just got this like lone Void Ray.
Yeah,
that's pretty much all he's got going for him. And there, you know, the Vikings, man.
And the Void Ray just disappeared right there by those Vikings. So, I mean, he doesn't have air superiority. He doesn't have ground superiority, and
he doesn't have supply superiority.
Yeah, he's behind in all aspects of the game currently, and he is trying to get back into the game probe-wise, but I don't know, man. We have a 1DT trying to pick apart the army, not getting any kills. Hellbats are pretty good, and siege tanks are even better currently in this game. I'm really impressed by Xefania, and it looks like if he attacks right here, we are going to see a 3-0 by our Terran player.
Clean sweep.
Yeah, in both our series,
actually.
Exactly
right.
Winter wrecking Scylla, and Xefania just turning into the macro mech game.
The macro monster.
Yeah, impressive play right here. He is moving up into the natural. A very little army here by Haravant. Getting some nice storms, but it doesn't really matter when there's so many siege tanks.
Yeah.
GG, well played is called, and Xefania take the third game. 3-0 sweep by Victor. Congrats,
look how happy
dude.
he is, man. Damn, well fought, well played, and a well-deserved win. 3-0. And that is just awesome to see. That is great. Glad that he's here as well. You know, we'll be able to hear his words and, you know, get a little feedback from him.
Yeah,
get some questions answered. I want, you know, the couch. Most importantly, I want the couch to break down what he did and get into the fact that he went for mech play and actually made it work.
Do you remember what I said before this game started about his favorite unit? Remember what it was?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. We clearly, you know, we should have seen this coming. You know, foreshadowing right there.
This series, seeing mech in Terran versus Protoss. I'm so excited, and we are going to get a player's interview in a bit of a while. We are going to stall a little bit, but Semmler, this was an exciting series. No buy almost. I think we saw around 16 Marines being produced in that last game, but otherwise only mech units.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only mech units. Vikings, siege tanks, Hellbats. He's like, I don't need anything else. I mean, well, that was the thing. It was what we said. As soon as he was able to recover a bit and get a bit of breathing room on his natural, set up those forward bunkers, set up the defense with the siege tanks, then he was like, I'm going to drop you everywhere. And he's just so mobile with those medevacs, with the Hellbats, that and as we saw, you know, Haravant missed a couple opportunities, missed a couple of key moments where the Hellbats got in. You know, he was good at the beginning of the game, and then just slipped up a couple times, and those Hellbats just wrecked everything in the base.
Yeah, I mean, and in the Derelict game, it was like a cat and mouse play by Xefania, and he was just trying to chase so much with those siege tanks. And when he actually got the army, it was just annihilated. So many siege tanks. And we are going into our winner's interview right now. Good luck, Dream Duck.
Thank you very much, and I'm gonna need some good luck because I'm playing Protoss, and apparently the counter to Protoss is mech.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. You said you've been playing mech in Wings of Liberty already.
Yeah.
So you've liked the changes.
Yeah, I like Hellbats especially.
You like Hellbats. You state here in the questions favorite units siege tank.
Yeah.
Thank you for living up, actually answering that question and really living up to the name.
Yeah.
How many goddamn siege tank did you make? Were you were I guess scouting for an air switch all the time, but it never came?
Well, last game he made some void rays, but not enough to change the tide.
Not enough to change the tide. No, you had the Vikings out there already, so nothing. You know, he was trying to counter. It seemed like he was trying to push out and counter, and you had this. You knew that was coming, I guess.
Which game are you thinking about?
All games.
Yeah.
Like first 2 games, he was I guess not pushing hard enough to try to get into your stop your mech window. He had a window to get in there, and it was always so close. He came out when you sieged out the first tanks. How well have you been practicing this build? How
a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. Yeah. All right. Are we going to see a lot more mech throughout the tournament?
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Don't want to give away all your stuff already. Awesome. I'm not going to hold you here. You get to pick your stuff up and make your way over to the player lounge, and they get to break down the games even more. Yeah. Awesome. You seem happy.
Yeah.
It's so fun to have you here, man. Good luck in the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Yeah. Big hand for our awesome player Xefania. Woo! There it is. You have a fan club, man. All right, so the fans are gathering. You should come here too. We have a lot of awesome games. PVF Lunar versus Megashira coming up. But before that, we're going to talk to the 2 interviewers in the Players' Couch. Take it away.
Hi and welcome back to the Players' Couch. With us now we have, of course, Madelisk and Prop JRC, which will be today's last players. Oh no, sorry, the first part, the round of 8's last players.
Nice going.
So, how are you guys feeling?
You said you were not going to ask that.
No, you said I wasn't going to ask that.
Okay, I'm tired.
Okay.
Is that an excuse or are you really tired?
I'm actually really tired because I didn't get to sleep like yesterday or today because of eSport SM and this thing.
So then I hope we will see extra multitasking from you just to take advantage of our tiredness.
Of course.
Of course.
5 drops everywhere, don't worry.
Yeah, no problem, innovation style.
Okay, and of course, being a Terran player, do you have any opinions on Xefania's style, like mech in TVP?
Mech is pretty useless, so don't mech. Don't mech in. You can mech in TVT, of course, but don't mech against Protoss or Zerg. It's useless.
So how come it worked this time?
I guess.
Be nice.
I guess the Protoss player is very bad.
Oh my God!
I don't know.
I just have
know.
to say though
Immortals.
that
I mean,
Haravant was the same player that beat me out of the bracket. So
he has a very special style in all his matchups, and I suck hard against Protoss, and I met him in the semifinals of a Hazard LAN, and he won 3-1, and then he told me, "You were supposed to win all the games because you're better than me," and it just hurt even more. So.
But what were the results now? I mean,
3-0 to Xefania.
Okay. Well, I mean, mech works.
Okay. So, anyways, you have your game coming up later today, and it will be Terran versus Zerg. How have you prepared? Which strategies will you be using?
I'm gonna mech.
Yeah, I'm kind of prepared for mech now because he said things like that. But I'm prepared versus mech too, so I think I will be fine. I played a lot versus Terran the past week, but I didn't play a single game like yesterday and barely the day before, so I feel a bit off because I really like to, prepare the day before, but I didn't have the possibility.
I sort of had like the feeling like every time you interview, you say this.
What?
Like I didn't play anything the day before, or I'm sick.
There's always a lot of excuses. No, I'm sick. I'm tired. I
was fucking casting eSportism yesterday. How could I play?
Well, that is a good excuse, actually.
That's true.
So, did you bring your blanket?
Yes, of course.
Of course.
The eSport blanket. Gotta have it.
Oh, okay.
So that's overpowered, right?
Did you?
Oh, it's the one. When we were playing in the group stage, she said, "Just wait a second," and I have to wait for like 5 minutes because she was like, "Need to get my hands warm," in the blanket. And I mean, yeah, I didn't bring anything, so.
No.
But do
no
the blanket need to be
nothing?
nerfed?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. David Kim, get on the blankets.
Like an infestor.
No. We need to bring the infestor back.
No, I think I'm very pleased with the infestor changes, right?
Of course you are.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No, infestors are fine. It's the mothership core that's the...
Yes.
Yeah, that's the new problematic unit.
Actually, this couch right now is 2 Zergs and 2 Terrans, so we should actually just hate on Protoss.
Yeah, of course. It's
Yeah.
28 PM and...
Korean Grandmaster.
If you want to be Grandmaster, you switch to Protoss and hotkey your mothership core and be ready to press F.
That sounds legit, though.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty hard.
Legit strat, man.
Right. I think we have Xefania here, and would you like to join us in the player couch? Sure. So
You want to get rid of us?
yeah, I was feeling a bit threatened. And here we have the winner of the last match. Welcome to the couch.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I'm guessing you like mech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you-
Someone told me this before, but I didn't really believe them.
Do you have a German relative?
I don't think so.
Because I think you have a brother named Goody.
Oh yeah, separated at birth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, your mech style is kind of unique, I dare say, because there are no ghosts or no Vikings into it. It's just like pure Hellbat siege tank.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the statement.
Well, obviously you have to add Vikings if you see air,
Yeah, of course.
but you don't have to make too many Vikings preemptively, I don't think.
So how close into this series did you know that you were going to win it 3-0?
I'm not sure. The last game I felt pretty shaky in the start,
Right?
but
But it's always kind of scary when you scout that the Protoss is one base,
yeah,
and you're like, oh my god, what's gonna come at me?
yeah, exactly.
But you didn't scout into the base, like, you stayed into his natural.
Yeah, I feel like it's more important to keep the SCV alive to see when he expands,
Alright.
because then you know you have to switch gears.
What if he had come with like DTs or blink holding?
Then I might have died.
Were you pretty sure that it was a gateway all-in and nothing else?
No, I wasn't, but I was obviously that comes first, so you have to prepare for that first. And
I have a question. Have you ever played in a booth or in front of an audience before?
I have not.
Was it a different experience?
Yeah, very different.
Is it hard to play to your maximum ability when you're playing that situation?
For me, first time, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Totally is.
It is a big difference. I felt that too. So
Yeah,
It's like, it's so easy to get supply capped and stuff like that.
yeah,
Like, we didn't really see any big supply caps from you, but I'm guessing there were some. Maybe.
yeah. There were definitely more than usual.
so how do you feel about the Haravant style against mech? Because it seemed like a different kind of Protoss answer to mech.
Yeah, he was doing like a lot of counterattacks, and I'm not sure if it's. I feel like that's a very strong style, but he was behind from the start. So in most of the games, because I think I did economic
your
damage.
window mine drops like always hit. And there's
Yeah.
like you gave a moment in the last game or in the second game maybe where you made a hellbat drop into his main and he pulled all his probes into one
Yeah,
gas.
yeah.
And like every one of them died. But he almost made it back that game though.
Yeah,
Did you ever feel like you were going to lose that?
that was the derelict game, right?
Yeah, the derelict game, of course.
Yeah, when he was almost killing my fourth base a couple of times,
Yeah.
I was feeling very shaky. But
And I never seen a player kill someone so slow as you did in that game. Because I think you were like 50 or 60 supply ahead with a mech army against Protoss. Because it's usually the other way around, and the mech armies can still have a big fight and win. But you were just like, no, I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna push this forth with my siege tanks, siege out, and just bunny hop forward. Is that your normal style, just killing people slowly?
I'm not sure. I think I'm usually pretty aggressive with Neck,
All right.
but his counterattacks were really keeping me back.
But like as a Terran, it's kind of a good feeling when you have like 30 siege tanks and you siege them all up at the same place and you hear the sound. Everyone makes like one sound
Yeah.
at the same time. And
Yeah.
It's like.
It's not as good as the sound in StarCraft 1,
No,
though.
right.
No, the Brood War sound was awesome.
Yeah.
And all the unit sounds was just awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Protoss sounds in StarCraft 2 are so wimpy. Like, they had so much more Protoss voice in StarCraft 1, and they said more Protoss language stuff, and they were just so much more badass.
Yeah, that could be. I'm not playing Protoss a lot, so...
I actually like downloaded the app that was like a soundboard for StarCraft, and I just spammed all the different sounds and just had like nostalgia shivers down my spine. So it was pretty great.
It was great. So do you have any opinions on the Terran voices of the StarCraft 2?
I can't say I pay much attention to that.
But that's like the most important part of the game. That's how you know which unit you want to make. The ones that sounds cool.
I think that's your opinion, not mine.
Okay, so
I think that the next match, we can talk about the next match. Yeah. So your next opponent will be Winter, and you cannot tell him the strategy because he's actually sitting right here. Or if it wasn't, maybe we'll be watching the stream. But how do you feel about the matchup?
He's a third player, of course.
I think that's my best matchup, usually.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. But Winter has a very different style. Actually, we played 2 days ago on the ladder, and he beat me.
Oof. So you're like kind of close on the ladder then?
Yeah, I guess.
You had the same MMR, what's it called?
Yeah. Well, I was on a winning spree, so he's probably a bit higher than I am.
Okay. So do you have anything specific planned, or are you just going to wing it?
Yeah.
Normal style or something?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's great.
Yeah, well, I guess that's all for us right now here at the Players' Couch, but we'll be back later, so see you around.
Det var ju 50 minuter långt spel och sånt där.